So, I was going to make this video specifically for someone, put it on private, and put it to where they were the only person who could see this video, but I decided not to do that. As you can see from the title, before you commit suicide, please watch this video. A young lady on my Facebook page found my YouTube channel through my I have social anxiety or living with social anxiety video. And she messaged me and she explained to me that she has social anxiety, but I have a mild case of social anxiety. But my social anxiety is kind of the lowest one you can have. I have social anxiety, but it's not bad. She has social anxiety to the point where she can't leave her house. Like, she leaves her house, but it's a task for her to do minute things like go to the store or something like that. She doesn't work. She has never had a job. And she said lately she has been having really, really horrible bouts of depression. And she has been having suicidal thoughts. Sweetheart, when I tell you, your messages really hit home for me because I was once you. Now, I never had the social anxiety to the point where you have the social anxiety. But what I want to tell you is, I know you said that you're having suicidal thoughts, but what I want to tell you is, sweetheart, what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to pray. You said you are a Christian woman and all that stuff. What I'm going to need you to do, I'm going to need you to get on your knees and beg God. Ask Him to take all of those negative thoughts away from you. Now, the next thing I'm going to need you to do, I'm going to need you to think a little bit, because you said you have 2 children. And you said their ages, if I'm remembering correctly, you said 5 and 8, if I'm not mistaken. And that you said you've been having the suicidal thoughts. But what I want you to think about is your babies. You said you have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. I know you said your 5-year-old, she just started her first year of kindergarten this year. What I want you to do is I want you to think about what your children's life would be like if their mom decided that life wasn't worth living anymore. I want you to think about how your children would feel knowing that you didn't think enough of them to continue fighting the fight for them. Now, I'm going to go into it a little bit further. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. Like I said, because I'm not one to come on camera and lie to somebody. I'm not going to tell you that getting on your knees and praying is going to automatically erase all of your issues, all of your problems, because it is not. That's first and foremost. But what I will promise you is that He will hold your hand and He will guide you through those problems and He will make those things better. Now, I know sometimes, we're at the lowest of the low. We're at the lowest of the low. We feel like we can't go any lower. But what I want you to think about is when you're at that low point in your life, okay, when you feel like you're so low that you can't go anywhere else but up, think about it. You feel like you're already at the lowest of the low. You can't get any lower. The only thing that can happen from henceforth is for things to get better. And a lot of times we get so down in depression and we get so down in the slumps that a lot of times we feel like our lives are so horrible. We lost our job, or we just totaled our car and we don't have any transportation, or, we're about to get evicted or something like that. But what I want you to do, I just want you to think about something for a second. Think about that person who is doing 1,000,000 times worse than you are, but they're continuing to fight. They're continuing to press on. And they don't have anything to look forward to. You have 2 babies. You have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old who need their mommy here with them. What I want you to do is I want you to think about how selfish it would be to end your own life because of something as small, even though I know social anxiety is horrible, but something as small compared to other things, to just end your life knowing that you have two babies that are going to be left behind without their mother. Also, to anybody else who's watching this video who is even contemplating suicide, what I want you to ask yourself, because I've seen quite a few videos of people who have, talked about how they wanted to commit suicide because their life was so horrible. This one young girl, she made a video here on YouTube. I'm not going to put any links or anything in the description box, but she made a video talking about how she didn't make the cheerleading squad at her school, and she just felt like her life was over and she wanted to kill herself. That is a mental disorder when a person thinks something as small as not making the cheerleading squad is worth killing yourself over. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. For example, Robin Williams. Robin Williams battled depression and bipolar disorder for many years. As well as Robin Williams, if a lot of people didn't know, I don't think it's any type of secret. Robin Williams was a drug user. And he was found recently in his home where he hung himself. I think that is, when I tell you bipolar depression is a deadly, deadly disease if it's left untreated. Okay, it can be something that will make you think negative thoughts as to where you want to harm yourself and things like that. I don't care if you do have children. But what I want to say, if you ever have those types of thoughts to where you feel like you want to kill yourself, there is a suicide hotline. I'm going to include the suicide hotline number in this video to where you can, call the suicide hotline. If you're ever feeling like you are so depressed to the point where you just feel like ending your life right now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about your children. I want you to think about your children. I want you to think about your family. I want you to think about the negative impact you taking your own life is going to take on your family. Also, I want you to ask yourself, is my situation that bad to the point where I should end my life? Now, I know it's left up to interpretation. I personally, like I said, I know everyone isn't going to agree with everything that I say, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But I think there's only one place for people who commit suicide. It's a selfish act. Because my thing is this: yes, we can do things and we can sin all the time. We can ask God to forgive. We can repent after we ask, after we do the act. But once you commit suicide, how are you going to repent? You're gone. You're dead. And you have to think about your family. And I would never, like I said, I've had these types of thoughts in the past, but I was never bold enough to actually proceed with it. Simply because I thought about my mom and my dad and my little brother. You have to think about, how would these people feel if I did something as selfish as took my life? Is my situation really that bad? Is it really something that I can't work through? Is it that bad to the point where I just feel like I just cannot go on? And I know there are some situations to where, like I said, you can feel like there is no other place to go but to die and leave, the worries of the world, that is the cowardly way out to kill yourself. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you're ever feeling like you are suicidal, if you're ever feeling like you are so depressed to where you just can't deal anymore, you just feel like you want to go in the bathroom, you want to take a bunch of pills, or you feel like you want to get a gun and blow your brains out. No. What I want you to do is I want you to call this phone number that's going to be over here, or right here, wherever it's going to be. I want you to do me a favor. Call that number. Better yet, if you want to, my Facebook link will be in the description box below. Add me on Facebook and send me a message. I'll shoot you my phone number. You can call me. You can text me. You can message me. 99% of the time, I'm always online. If I'm not online, when you send me a message on Facebook, most of the times it'll send a notification to my phone. If I don't answer right away, most of the time I got a bad battery on my phone. My battery's either dead or whatever. But I'll always answer within the first few minutes or something like that. And if I didn't answer, send me another message, and I promise you, I will answer you. I'm no professional or anything like that. I'm no type of professional, but I can promise you that I have been where you have been. I have had these types of thoughts before, but I am a living witness. I'm a living witness that you can go from feeling like you are down here to feeling like you are on cloud 9. I promise you, it gets better, especially having children. And to the kids who are in school and, you get bullied and things like that. I was bullied. Just in case you don't know, go and watch my testimony video. I talked about it. I was bullied bad in school. To the point where every day I would come home being mad and mean as hell. My mom tells me to this day she never knew what was going on with me because I never told her. But every single day I got bullied to the point where it really messed my self-esteem up. And like I said, that's one of the reasons why I have social anxiety. I have depression. And at one point I thought I was bipolar. But I turned out not to be bipolar. I'm not bipolar. But that's one of the reasons why I have social anxiety, why I'm so shy, why I have why I had such low self-esteem and things like that. And why I wanted to end my life, because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to be living. I felt like, why should I go on every day being humiliated, feeling like I'm less than? Who wants to live like that every day of their lives? No one. But I prayed and I asked God to help me through that. And He did. And when I tell you, once He helped me through that, I see life through, it's like I see life through different eyes now. Like, now that I think back on the fact that I actually wanted to do those things, I can sit there and bawl and cry, because I think to myself, I want to have babies. I would have never lived to have kids and have a family and have a husband, and to see my niece and nephew graduate from high school. I would never see those things. I would never know what it feels like to be a mom. I would never get to see the world. There are tons of things that I want to do. I want to go to Africa one day. I want to take all these different cruises. I want to see different places, the Grand Canyon. I want to go to a lot of different places. I can't do that dead. And I don't want I know a lot of people, like I said, let me tell you why I feel like it's selfish. Because your family is going to be left behind to grieve something that you did that could have easily been prevented. So again, if you're thinking about committing suicide, send me a message. I'll talk to you. I'll shoot you my phone number. All that good jazz. I'll talk to you, and if that's going to help you, I will. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I can promise you I am a listening ear, because I've been where you are. So please do not kill yourself. Just I hope and pray that you remove those thoughts from your head. Also, I'm going to leave the suicide hotline here on this screen right here. And I'm going to be praying for everyone watching this video. I don't know you, but I'm going to pray for every single person that is watching this video. If you leave me a comment or you send me a message, I'm going to be praying for you. Until the next video, family. Bye. But please, don't kill yourself. It's not worth it. It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And it's not the answer.